Hey guys, we are doing the study guide for 19A. If you notice, your first problem says, what's the probability of rolling an even number on a number cube? So we talked about in class so many times now that a number cube has 6 possible numbers. Well, if it has 6, we know that 2, 4, and 6 are even numbers. So that's 3 over 6. 3 even numbers over a possibility of 6. I reduce my fraction. And to figure out what it is as a decimal, because it said to express it as the decimal, I put it over 100, which is 0.50 or 0.5. So the most precise answer would be 0.5. The second one is asking for median. So we talked about in class that mean is the average. Median is the middle. And remember that thing called a mode? Mode was the most repeating. The one that repeats the most. Okay? So the median, what you do here is you list all your numbers. In this case, you'll have yours right in front of you. You don't have to list them. 90, 85, 100, 85, 100. And just start. All right, just start from the back. Okay, and we'll cross out those two. Then I'm going to cross out those two. Then I'm going to cross out those two. And which one's in the middle? The median is the 85. All median means is what's in the middle. Okay? All right, the next one, which is, I forgot, I'm in the girls' room because everybody's playing the Nintendo Switch in the living room. What percent of this circle is shaded? So we know that we see that the triangles are shaded. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's 8 possible triangles. Well, remember how we talked about in class, you can do this 2 ways. You can put 2 on the inside and divide it by 8. Or you can reduce this fraction and see if it's something that can go into 100. In this case, it is 1/4. I'm going to put it equal to 100. 4 goes into 100 25 times. 25 times 1 is 25. And what is 25 hundredths as a decimal? Well, it's 0.25, but since I already have it over 100, that's in a percent. So that's 25%. Okay? Number 4. I'm going to let you look that one up. That's just an investigation 6. 6. Number 5. What is the area of the triangle? Well, remember we talked about area equals 1/2 times the base times the height. So if my base is 12 and my height is 9, I'm going to go 1/2 times 9 times 12. Okay? What I would do here, you can either say 9 times 12 and then divide it by 2, or you can just take half of 12, which is 6, and multiply it by 9. Let's see, number 6. Of that triangle, what type of triangle is that? Well, think about it. If a triangle has one right angle, so for number 6, think about it's asking what kind of triangle. If there's one right angle, it is called a right triangle. On number 7 is going to please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. It says 10 plus 5 times 4 minus 2 squared. Well, there's no parentheses here, but remember that the E stands for exponents, so we do have one of those. So my next step would be 10 plus 5 times 4 minus, well, what's 2 to the second power? 4. Then we ask ourselves the M and the D. Well, that's multiply or divide. And I have some multiplication right here. So I'm going to say 10 plus, what's 5 times 4? 20. Now I have left adding and subtracting. Remember, guys, you just work it left to right. For number 8, that's 1.5 squared. I'm going to go ahead and tell you the easiest way to do this one is to make it a mixed number and just multiply it by itself. 1.5 is 3/2. So just say 3/2 times 3/2. Okay. 9, that's the proportion that we worked on, the butterfly. 4 is to 6, as 10 is to W. We are going to do those butterfly wings. And we're going to say 4W equals 60. And to get rid of that, remember the opposite of multiplication is division. So we divide both sides by 4. You can work that out. You're going to have a mixed number, obviously. Okay, number 10. 4 squared minus the square root of 4. Well, let's do, we don't see any parentheses, right? We just see exponents, and then we see a square root. Well, 4 squared, that means 4 times 4. That's 16. And what's the square root of 16? Remember, that is asking what two numbers multiplied by each other equals 16. So the square root of 16 would be 4. And you just subtract there. Number 11, that one's, all you do on that one is multiply the top and then divide it by 20. Number 12, 5/8, let's just say multiply, then divide. Okay, number 12, that's just multiplication. 5/8 times 56, okay, over 1. All you're doing is multiplying there. Number 13, remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, parentheses first, then say 6 minus what your answer is in the parentheses. Number 14, put the 4 on the inside. The 4 goes on the inside. The 0.5 goes on the outside. So we're going to have to move our decimal one way. So you're actually going to say 5 into 40. Number 15, I will give you a hint. Your common denominator there is going to be a 6, okay? Common denominator is a 6. Number 16, you're subtracting. 12 is your common denominator. Number 17, make that a mixed number. So you would say 9 over 5. And since I'm dividing, I have to flip that number. So it'd be 9/5 times 1/3. The last 3 are more word problem based, so we'll kind of work those out. Number 18, to change a fraction to a percent, you multiply the fraction by 100. Change 1/3 to a percent. Okay, so that's one thing that we have already learned, right? 1/3 is a percent. So if I multiply, we know that 1/3 is 0.333333333, right? So if you want to multiply that by 100, remember how we talked about all you have to do is move your decimal 2 places. So 1/3 as a percent would be 33. You could either write it as like that, or you could write it like that. Either one are okay. 3 3/4 as a decimal numeral. Let's see. Remember, and what's 3/4? Think about it. 3/4, if you want to do 3/4, you put 3/4, put it equal to 100. 4 goes into 100 25 times 3. So how would I write 75 hundredths? Okay, that's what it's asking for, decimal numeral. And then add 1.5 to it. Okay, you do the math there. And then the last one is one of those where you actually plot the points again. And it's just asking how many total units did you have. So what's the perimeter? That's all it's asking for. If you've got any questions, just contact me and let me know. Bye.